Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS128, third week, and let me share my screen. Let's see, it's this one I want to share, so that's this one, I guess. All right, let me get this out of your way. And let me get this out of my way. All right, so here we are, and this is the third week, so we're going to start section 3. I tell you what, do you remember if I did lab activity 2.13 last time? Does anybody remember? You remember if I did 2.13 last time? Okay. So let me bring up the textbook. Let me just look. Maybe I can remember by just looking at it. I don't know. That's right. This was this one, driving. Oh yeah, I did this one. Yeah, see, I got 10 out of 10. Okay, good. So I want to make sure I get the stuff that you need to get your scores and stuff. So let me just like cut to the chase kind of thing. Okay, so string basics. Okay, so it's pretty obvious how we handle like integers and real numbers and numbers with decimal points and all that, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. You know all that. Strings maybe is not so obvious. So a string is just a string of characters which are all sort of attached together. And so a string has a length, and then for example, this string here can hold up to 6 characters, and right now it's holding TRISH, which is just 5 characters, and then of course, and then there ends up being a blank at the end because really it's defined as 6 characters. Anyway, strings are, let's see, which answer creates a string variable first name with a value Daniel? Okay, so a string variable, that's the string variable, and this is it's assigning the string Daniel. So the point here is that an assignment statement, which we've learned about, that's how you assign values to variables, and we've learned about assigning numbers to variables, but now this is assigning strings to variables, and this is how we do it. We enclose the string that we want the variable to equal. We enclose it in quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes, but it has to be the same. If you do a single quote at the beginning, it's got to be a single quote at the end. And one reason they have 2 different kinds is because, let's say you want your string to have a single quote in it. Well, then you can use double quotes to enclose that. Or if you have a string that you want to have double quotes in, then you can enclose that with single quotes. And so the idea is that you always have the variable on the left and the value that you want to assign the variable on the right. Right now we're just doing just single values, but there's operators for strings here, the strings also. Okay, so here's an example. We're printing out a string, and which answer prints the value of the first name variable? Well, this one, the first one, prints the value of the first name variable, because the second one and the third one just print FIRST_NAME. In the second and the third case, it's not treating it like a variable inside. It's treating it like a value, something you assign to a variable. This up here is where you actually assign the variable. So this one here is where you're actually going to print out the value of the variable, and so that's why this is the correct answer. Anyway, and here again is an assignment statement that's assigning a null string, an empty string, a string that's got nothing in it, 0 characters. That's what this looks like. It's not this because there's actually nothing on the right side, and it's not this because the left side's got to be the variable, not the right. The left side has got to be the variable name. And then we talking about indexing variables. Okay, what's the length of the string Santa? We can use this function to determine the length. Here we're determining the length of the string whose name is Gandhi. That would be this one. This string equals this. And so this has however many characters in it. Looks like it has 26 characters. So this thing's got 26 characters in it. This is a function which will return return the length of the string that's in there. So this is this string, and this one is this string. So this is how you can extend. Let's say you want to, in a single assignment statement like this, you have a variable and then the equal sign, and on the right side you want to have a single string, okay, but there's not enough room on the screen to do it. So you can do it this way, where you can where this extends onto the next line. See, so it's this part, it's what's in the quotes, and then this means continue on to the next line. So what's the next line? Oh, it's another quote. So then connect that onto it, and then continue, and then the last one continues the last line, and then it stops. And so that means that it's the end. All right, so here's how we actually index individual characters inside the string. It's just like in a so-called array. Have we come to arrays yet? Oops, didn't need to do that. No, arrays, lists, I'm sorry. In Python, they're called lists. Okay, anyway, so I noticed here that we sort of cover these superficially here. Lists is next, and tuples, and so these are the different types of variables that come with Python, and then we're going to go into them much more deeply down here, where we actually go deeply into strings, deeply into lists and dictionaries. Here we're just going to briefly cover them so you get the idea. There's all these are all the basic types. Anyway, so right now we're talking about strings. You can index different characters in the string by just like this. So we have a string called alphabet. Here it is. And in Python, we always start counting at 0. 0 to 25 means it's got 26 in there, because we count zeros like first one, and then so we start counting at 0. So this is the 0th character of alphabet. That's this. That's why it prints the A here. And then, of course, a comma puts a space. And then this is going to print the first. It shouldn't be called first. It's the second. This is the second character in alphabet, which is indexed by a 1. That would be the B. And this is the 25th. That's actually the 26th character, if we start counting it, of alphabet, and which would be this one, the last one, and that's why it prints a Z here. So that's how you reference or refer to individual characters within string. What character is in index 2? Index 2 would be the third one, which would be the E here, and we can see that it's E. Make sure you put the E here so you get the point. Yeah, I want to get the point there. Change string variables and go. Okay, so strings are immutable and cannot be changed. Okay, so that means that once you make a string, you can't change that string. What you have to do is make a new string and get rid of the old string. Okay, that's kind of how you do it. So individual characters of a string cannot be changed directly. So we have this. We can refer to alphabet of we can refer to the zeroth index of alphabet this way, but we can only refer to it to see what it is. We can't actually directly change it. In other words, this won't work. This won't work because we're actually trying to change one character in this whole string, and strings are immutable. The coronavirus is not immutable, it mutates. So anyway, so if you want to do something like this, then you got to make a whole new string, and basically you get rid of the old string and you make a whole new string. Let's see if we might see how to do that pretty soon here. So to instead update the variable by assigning an entirely new string. Okay, so here I guess the idea here was you were gonna try to change every one like that, but anyway, so you have to actually just assign a whole new thing. Assign a whole new string. Okay, so you can concatenate strings. That means you stick the second one, you attach the second one to the first one and make one whole string. And so that's what that's the plus sign is, concatenation. So plus sign works with integers. A plus sign works with floating point numbers. A plus sign also works with strings, but it means a different thing. It means concatenation and not actually summing. And so here we're concatenating string 2 onto string 1, and so here we see string 1 is ABC and string 2 is 1, 2, 3, and so when we concatenate the two together, we get a string like that. Let's see, can't do that. Is a valid way to change? No, it's false, because you can't, because this is the string and you're trying to mutate the string into something different, and so you can't do that. All right, good. Here's a let's see. Type the program's output. These are just so yuffie. Enter. Okay, I'm gonna do every other one. Yeah, I can, but I'm gonna do every other one. You can do the ones in the middle. Okay, this is we're supposed to print what person is. Well, it would be CID, because sure, this assigns person to Barrett, but we aren't doing anything with person. Oh, but now we're doing something with person again. We're reassigning a new value to it, and so this old one is it's like this was never there. All right, so that's why it's that. Oh, you got to put the enter. Okay, let's do number 5. Okay, here we're going to print the 0th index of Tifa. I think the type of T, enter. See, look at that. And let's do the hardest one here. Oh, we're going to concatenate. So this would be this concatenated with this. Enter. He thinks. All right. Very good. Oh, what's this one? Read strings from input. Oh, and that's going to print it out. Is that all we do? Read the strings? All right. So, start. I don't know. How about what's going on? Street name equals input and state string, as str is usually short for string, equals input. And of course, they like you to put spaces. Why? Because it's more characters. No, I don't know. I'm a minimalist. I like to cram things together. Doesn't matter. So let's see what this gives me. Very good. Okay, let's do the third one. Okay, so we're supposed to read this, and then we're supposed to read that string, and then we're supposed to read this integer, and then we're supposed to read this integer, and then we're supposed to assign this variable equal to the character at index this one, and then assign character 2 equal to the character at index that. So first we're going to read in that. Okay, so let's do this. Huh? Wait a second. Why do I have a check mark there? Did I do this one already? Click here for an example. Oh, never mind. I'm confused. Okay, so let's go back to number 3 here. Okay. Oh, it changed. And okay, string of, read the string fav flower from input. Gotta quit clicking around here. Okay, fav flower equals input. And output the following, all separated by spaces. I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, I'm just supposed to print the second character. Okay, got it. Okay. Print. The second, oh, there we go. I'm gonna just do this. I'm lazy. Print this. The second character of, and then the value of fav flower, comma, is, comma, the second character of fav flower. Well, the second character of fav flower is index 1. So I would say fav flower index 1. Close the parentheses, and that's it. See if this is right. Okay. Since all these are different, I'll do the last one too. I'll leave the middle one for you. Okay, what's this one now? Read the strings visited last name, place 1, place 2, and place 3 from input. Then assign places visited string to the concatenation of this with a colon, followed by this place, followed by a comma. Really? So there's going to be spaces in between this and the comma. That's not going to look very good. But then assign places. Okay. Well, there's a couple of different ways we can do this, and I don't know what they're expecting, but I'm going to start with this. I'm going to say, first of all, I got to read these things. Visited last list name equal is input. We're going to read the visited list name. It's like a city, I suppose. Oh, here, let's do an example. So this countries I've visited. So it's going to be, so this is the first thing. So that's what this visited list name, countries I've been to. And then we're going to read place 1. Place 1 equals input. place 2 equals input. And you can put spaces in there if you want to. Place 3 equals input. Okay, now, you know, if we just, oh, we're supposed to create a single string. So my worry about putting spaces or not spaces has been answered, I think. So I'm going to say place it. I think it's the right place. Places visited string. That's this thing here. This thing equals, and concatenation is just a plus sign. So it's visited, listed. I'm a bad typer. So this concatenated with a colon, comma, okay. Concatenated with a colon. Concatenated with a colon. Oh, there we go. Plus place 1. Plus place 1. Concatenated with a comma. Yeah, comma's next. I could do this. I don't know if I just do this. Lazy. Copy. Watch this. I'm going to do this. Equals. I'm going to go. Oh, there's a space there. Boy, am I glad I saw that. See, when I pasted it down here, there ends up being another space. Well, okay, so I want to go plus, and then I'm going to go return, put it back up on the previous line, and then put a plus sign. Here, maybe this way is easier. I'll put a plus sign here, and I'll press delete to bring that up there. Go over here, put a plus sign, press delete to bring that over there. Put a plus sign and press delete to bring this comma up there, and then do a plus sign and then a delete to bring place up here. And I have a nicely formed string here that should be what is described here. Assign places visited string to the concatenation of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then that's it. Let's see if this is correct. All right, very good, wonderful. It could be the islands I've been to, and then Oahu and Big Island. All right. Okay, list basics. What time is this? 2:12. List basics. I better not waste a lot of time. Okay, so lists they're kind of similar. They look a little bit like strings, except for instead of it being like a list of characters, it's instead of a string of characters, it's a list of, it could be characters, but it can be anything, a list of anything. And they don't all have to be the same type either. They can be, the first one can be a string, the next one can be a number, the third one can be whatever. Okay, so the third one can be another list. I mean, so it's much more flexible in that way. The types of operations are the same. The way you refer to different elements in the list is the same as referring to different characters in the string. But another important difference is that the lists are mutable, whereas strings are immutable. All right, so here a container is a construct used to group related values together. A list is a container created by surrounding a sequence of variables or literals with brackets. So this is how you define a list. It's got 2 elements in it. This is index 0 element, and this is index 1 element. And the first one happens to be an integer, and the second one happens to be a string. A list element, a list item is called an element. A list is also a sequence, which means it's ordered, which means you can refer to the elements in order. And so you can read this animation, watch this animation here, and we see that that's defined like that. And so it has a place called prices is the name, and then it puts the list in there, and it looks like that, I guess. All right, so click through that. You can add your own name, add whatever you want to do. And the other thing is that they are mutable. So you can go names of 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 equal names of 3 equals Ricardo. And then when you print names, you see that it actually, you don't get an error, it actually changes it, changes the it's so lists are mutable. All right, so list accessing them, you access them the same way, just like this. Those are different elements. You can update them now. So you can do that. That works. You can add, there are these other additional kind of functions. Pop, remove, append. Okay, so they all mean something. Append means you're going to take something and just stick it at the end of the list. So you don't know, you don't have to know how many elements are in it or anything like that. You just going to append. It's just going to concatenate. It's like concatenate, but it's not really concatenate because concatenate refers to strings. This is appending, which refers to lists. So we're appending something onto the tail end of the list. Pop means you remove an element. You remove an element and then everything, it closes up again. So if you remove index 1 element, then 0 stays the same, but you remove 1 and then 2 shifts down to where 1 was, and 3 shifts to where 2 was, and 4 shifts to where 3 was. That's what happens. And you can also remove something by its value. This removes by its index, pop, and this removes by its value, and it goes and finds the first one and removes that one, because there could be more than one ABC, for example. So that's that. Pretty simple. Modification, you can modify it. So you can, so this is, I guess we still use the same term, concatenating. Makes sense. So here's how you can append one list onto the end of the next list. This is find the element in the list with the smallest value. Of course, all the elements have to be the same type because, you know, strings and in integers, how do you say which one's more than the other? Max. This is if all the elements are numbers, you can sum them all up with this one function, and this will return the value, return the index of the first element whose list matches the value. Okay, so the remove actually removes something of that value. This just tells you where it is. This will tell you where it is. Of course, you can remove it after that by using the pop. And then this counts the number of occurrences of a particular value. So that's one nice thing about Python. It's like they give you this data type, and then they also give you all the different kinds of functions that you could ever possibly think to need to use with that data type. All right, let's do this. What is the value of the length of user ages? So that's length is the number of elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's start this up and see what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements. Great. What's the third one? What expression creates a list? 486, 88. That looks like the concatenation. This is the first one, and this is the second one. So what expression? Oh, that's nice. I would say it is this one. All right, let's do the last one. What is the value of the sum of use? Well, that would be 13, he thinks. All right, let's do this one. 3 states are read from input into variables state 1, state 2, state 3. Create a list named states list to hold them. Okay, so it's a list. Oh, I know. Gotta get my languages straight. So I'm gonna do a states. I'm gonna just do it easy. Name this. And that's gonna equal. It's gonna equal this. It's gonna equal that. And I'm gonna put in here this. Oops, I'm gonna see if this works. I think it should work. Copy, paste. But I'm going to change this to a, I'm just going to get rid of that. And I think this will work. Ah, good, it worked. Okay, let's just do number 4. You do 2 and 3. Okay, days list is that. And days list 2 is that. And we're supposed to. Okay, days list 1 is a list, which the first thing is a number, and the second thing is a number. Oh, they're all numbers. Oh, and this is going to ask the terminal for something. I guess I never. This is going to ask the terminal. So when this thing executes, it's going to be asking. Let's see. Do I have Python on this? I can't remember if I do. I do. Okay, great. So if I type these 2 things in, I'm going to copy these and see if it's possible that I do this. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to write the code here. I'm going to answer this and then I'm going to execute it on the what's it called? REPL is what this is called. I don't know where that name comes from. But, okay. Then list days 2 is created with two integers. Create a list called days 3, which concatenates day 2 to the end of it, day 1. So it would just be create a thing called this copy. That is a concatenation. So I guess we can just add them together. Days list 1, days list 2 to the end of days list 1. So days list 1 plus days list 2. Okay, and then it's going to print this. Now, so let's execute this. Okay, I'm going to try to make a point here. Is this going to work? All right. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so first I'm going to execute this line, okay? So because I have the REPL up here, so I'm going to do paste there, and I'm going to do this. Okay, it's sitting there. What is it sitting there doing? It's waiting, it's trying to execute this input. Okay, so all right, so and then it converts it into an integer. All right, so I'm going to say 50. Okay, enter. Now what is it waiting for? Well, it's waiting for this input. So I guess I'll put something in there. I'm going to put what, 75 maybe, 75. Okay, so there, enter. Okay, now we're done. And days list 1 should contain these two things. Let's see. Print days list 1. Oh, shoots. What did I just do? Print days list 1, close parentheses. Okay, so there's 50 and 75. Now, I don't like it when it's sitting there and you don't know what's going on and the user's going, why is the program stopped? So I would prefer to put, so I'm going to take this. So I would prefer to do it this way. Print 2, oh, let's go. Print days list 2 equals, just like the same, but then inside input, inside there, I like to say, you know, what we're asking for. So I'm going to put enter first integer of days list 2, just so we know what's going on. Close the input parentheses, close the int parentheses, and close the, oh, that's the first one. That's the first one. I got to do the second one. Int input enter second integer. I'm just doing this so you can, I'm just doing this to make a point. You don't need to, this is not what you put for the answer, but what you put for the answer is what you have here. So this should work, but I just want to make the point that I think the book does you a disservice by putting these two commands, which can be separate, but having you put them together and can be confusing. Anyway, so that's the what's going to display out when the system is asking the user for that input. And this is going to close the function that takes that character string and converts it into an actual integer number. And then we are done with the list. Okay, so if I enter this, I hope I got all my parentheses in there right. Okay, so now it's executing this first input and see what it does. Enter the first integer of days list. So I'm going to say 125. And then it says enter the second integer. That's this thing. Now it's looking for this number. Now I'm going to say 150. And then I'm going to enter. Okay, now we can do this print days list 3. Oh, no, now I have to do this. Yeah, okay. Copy. That adds the two together, and now that concatenates the two. And now when I print days list 3, which I just assigned a value to, we get that. And that's the concatenation of days list 1 and days list 2. See up here. And so we check this and it should be correct. All right, very good. That's the last one. Okay, so that's two. Okay, so those are those are lists. Okay, now we have these things called tuples or tuples. I like tuples better, but like Tommy Tuberville or something. So a tuple is, let's see, I think does order count? Okay, they're immutable. It's immutable, which means it's not mutable, which means you can't mutate it into something else. And you can have repeats, but I think order counts. So let's see. A tuple is not as common as a list, but useful when a programmer wants to ensure that values do not change. Tuples are typically used when element position and not just a relative ordering of elements is important. Okay. A tuple might store the latitude and the longitude of a landmark because the programmer knows that the first element should be latitude and the second element should be longitude, and the landmark should never move from those coordinates. See, with a list, you can pop something out of the middle, and then the order is still there, but they're not in the same position anymore, and all that. So that's what a tuple is. So of course, a tuple can have two elements that are the same, but the order counts, and you can't change it once you made it. Create a new variable point that is the tuple containing the strings x string and y string. Well, how do you do it? Oh, you put the curly. Oh, you put just parentheses. Okay, so that's how you define it. Parentheses. So I guess if this would be a new variable called point equals, and it's in parentheses, I guess. And so it'd just be x string and y string. Let me just copy this. And it's got to put a comma there, not an and. And by the way, spaces can be, you can put spaces in between here. They don't do anything. If you like spaces. Close the parentheses and let's see if this is correct. Yes, it is. All right. And len works with tuples. So this is going to create a tuple that's got 3 elements. And so length friends is going to be 3. See. A car named tuple with fields price. Oh, a named tuple allows programmers to define a new simple data type that consists of named attributes. So in other words, you can name the attributes. So here's how you define a named tuple, where the tuple's got a name, but then each attribute also has a name. And that makes sense because yeah, anyway. So you can kind of see that a tuple is kind of a good data structure, or primitive data type for something like representing the model of a car or something, a car. All right, so complete the following tuple definition that describes a house. So house, I guess we put the word named tuple. Named tuple. I don't use these very much, obviously. Does this work? I guess. All right, so let's do some challenges. It's 2:30, got half an hour left. Color is a named tuple with the fields R, G, and B, red, green, blue. Variable color data is a color object created with this 1 string and 3 integers. So color data is a named tuple called color name, followed by the colors data. Okay, so anyway, so color is equal to a named tuple called color. It's confusing that they make the name here the same as the name here, but it's not always that way. Address is, always that way? I don't think it should be always that way. But, maybe it is. Never thought about it. I always thought it was just a coincidence. Well, we can experiment. Next time we get a chance to experiment, I'll experiment. Okay, so anyway, so this is a named tuple called color, and there's going to be the name of the color, and then these are going to be normally they'd be integers between 0 and 255. Red, green, blue. Yeah, that's right. 8, 8, 8, 24. Yeah. All right, so what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to write the output. Okay, so I don't know. Is it going to be like color name. Hope I'm right. Color name. R G B. And I guess these are also named R, G, and B. See if this is right. Okay, what did I do wrong? What do I do wrong? Color data. So should I put that there? Yeah, that was what I was supposed to put. Okay, so. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, this is. Here we are defining. Here it's like we're defining a type. We aren't defining any. We aren't defining any colors. We're just defining a structure here. Here is where we're actually defining a color. And so this thing is a data type called color. And this data that's defined here. And this data type called color has got 1, 2, 3, 4 elements, you'd call it. The first one is the name of this color, and the remaining 3 are the RGB color values for red, green, and blue. All right, let's do number 3. First name, second name, state license plate, personal data equals a person. First name. Oh, my code goes here. So I guess I've got to define person. I'm just going to guess here. Equals named. Named tuple. Named tuple. Tommy Tupleville of let's see, person, and then in brackets. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's a comma there. First name, I guess. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to put brackets here, I think. All right. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, named. Okay, so what did I do wrong? Did I spell it wrong? Did anybody see what I did wrong? I should, okay. 3. And 2. I'm not doing something correctly. I'm what?
You're calling it line 2. You're line 3.
And I haven't done what? Oh. So how do I, isn't that, I don't need this, do I? I don't think I need that. Okay, well, anyway, I'm gonna, so, all right, so so I don't think I understand what you're saying. What,
This is 3.1. Because I loaded up the line and it has that at the top.
oh, this, so I should add that, is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah, okay. That's what I gotta do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. Now I could cheat. I don't like cheating. Yeah, okay, there it is. See, there it is. That's okay. Okay, very good. All right, so maybe I should do number 4. What time is this? 2:41. Da, 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 da. This is what I had before, which is color. Color, I guess I would use color. Equals color of color name. Am I doing this right? Okay, another great big guess here. Name. RGB. B. Oh, wait, no, that's all right. All right, well, I'm just gonna see what the answer is. Oh, what did I do? Color name. Color name. Oh, I don't put the brackets. So I'm not supposed to put the brackets. I can tell I don't do this. I don't use these. I don't recall ever even using name tuples. So, all right. Anyway, sets are. Where am I? Sets are similar, except for are they mutable? Unordered collection of unique elements. And use curly braces. And unordered and no meaningful positions. Oh, that's right. Okay, sets. So index operator is not valid. So there's no, so there's no order. So index operator doesn't do anything. Position. So you can't access an element by position. And so, and there cannot be duplicates. So this cannot be a set. This list cannot be a set. If you make this into a set, you can do that. But what comes out is only one alba. Let's see. Is there a so these typical methods you can use on sets. Intersection, takes what's common in both and discards the rest. Union takes what's common in both, but they're all unique. So if there's duplicates, it gets rid of the duplicates. Difference takes the elements that are returns the set containing only the elements of the set that are not found in any of the other sets. So the difference between the first one and the second one is all the elements in the second one that are not in the first one. And symmetric. Okay, so there's difference and then symmetric difference. Okay, so this contains the elements that appear in exactly one or the other. Symmetric difference. Okay, anyway, we don't really use these too often. Okay, so let's see if we can do one of these here. Create variable unique colors as an empty set so that 3 strings can be read from input and added to unique colors. Note that sets are unordered, so sets printed using sorted order are used for comparison. All right, sure, great. Okay, so we're supposed to create a variable called unique colors. Okay, create a variable called unique colors. And I don't know how you create sets. I don't think you can't use double comparison. I think you got to just do set. Is that right? You can't use double single curlies because that's how you define a dictionary. It's different. How do you create an empty set? Oh, you just go set. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go set like that. And then we read in 3 colors and then we add them to here. Is this right? Okay, yeah, that's correct. So that is how you create a set like this. Okay, what's this third one? Because sets are okay, so So this one contains A. This one contains nothing. Contains 2 read from input. And then update names of set. Update names set 1 with name set 2. So update names set 1 with name set 2. Probably do a union or something, maybe. Union. That would be like this one. Just like that. So I'm gonna say, I don't know if this is gonna work. Set names set 1 equals names set 1 dot union names set 2. Read this. Is this right? Read the next string from in. Oh, okay. Read the next string from input and remove the string from names set 1. So remove so this is going to be something like names set 1 equals string. So how do you remove a tell you what, I'm just going to look at the solution. Just use a remove. Oh, I actually had to request the input. Okay. Oh my goodness, I got this completely wrong. So anyway, this is the answer, and I'm using the update, which see, I didn't go through this to difference. Here we go. Using that one, adds elements of set 1 to set 2, and this removes element from a set, and then we're going to add it, add something to the set. So we use these 3 methods, and that's what we do here. This adds what's over here onto set 1. This again requests from the keyboard and removes it from set 1, and this asks from the keyboard and adds that to set. So that's what this would be. All right, let's see. Let's how long is this chapter 3? Man, I jam through these things pretty quickly, don't I? I'm gonna go to 3.12 and see. Let's try to do that one. We have 5 minutes left. Let me go 3.12.1 list basics. List basics. This chapter 3, list basics. It's here. List basics.
One simple but brilliant trick to heat your home in 90 seconds and save thousands of dollars on your heating bill this winter.
Should have signed on with my other account. On my other account, I don't have, I did all.
Okay, given the user inputs complete program that does the following tasks. First one defines a list, my list containing these 3 user inputs. I think the problem.
Okay, anyway, you can ignore my babbling, but so this is how you do it, and I probably take you all the way through to the end.
One is that, but one I have 2 is that.
Oh, I use this thing here. I use replica.
So that's that, and then the third one we're supposed to.
Okay, so why don't you go through that? And by the way, let's see. I'm gonna has anybody started? Okay, nobody has done chapter 4 yet. So from chapter 4 on, I'm going to switch over to advanced. And so this will give you a replit kind of interface. Okay, replit kind of interface. And so, and good. So from now on, so from 4 on, and I'll have to go through and update all these things. All right, I'll go through and do this, but anyway, so I guess, keep in mind there is this spreadsheet here, and this spreadsheet's pretty up to date because I haven't messed with the assignments that much lately in the last couple of semesters because I've been so busy doing other stuff. So you can probably find like the solution to all of the required ones in here. And, they're, you got to get used to my rambling, I kind of slow sometimes, but it's kind of like I don't mind doing it because if you get frustrated and you work ahead, that's the idea. You should do these on your own, but if you just get stuck, then, you sit through this and you can usually figure out what's going on. All right, so with this change, I'm going to be able to should find out who. This one. Nobody's done it on this one either, so I'm going to switch this one to advanced. All right, so starting next week, I will do the assignments using this console thing, which is nicer because it's interactive. You'll be able to see, let's see, like this one here. Let's see, let me just, where's the solution? Do I have it? Oh, model solution. Okay, so here's the model solution. All right, so here's the model solution. So I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so I'm giving you this right now, I guess. Printed suits. Okay. I'm gonna to do from to do down to to do. Okay, so where's 5? Okay, so I'm gonna copy this over. Oh, does it not let me copy? Gotta let me copy. Copy. So when you're all done and you've entered in everything, now what happens when you run it? Okay, so here is console, it must be executing. And what is the first thing? See, it's got, it has all these inputs. And so it's waiting for inputs right now. So if we're supposed to enter in a bunch of fruit, apple, peach, lemon, apple, pear, plum. Apple, peach, lemon, apple, pear, plum. And then does the output. But what's nice about this is it's very similar to this replit thing I used to use. Because it's got the interaction, but you can also you know, mess with this, I think. Because in real life, when you're writing code, it's going to be, let me put a column there. And so now when you run it, of course, it actually gives you an error. This one is wrong. Let's try it again. Now what am I supposed to do with this? Huh. It's never closed. Oh, look at that. Read the error messages. That's the lesson here. Okay, here we go. Apple. This lemon. Go. Apple. Anyway, all right. So anyway, it's 3:03. I hope what I did today helps. And if you have any questions, just email me. Any questions? All right. Have a good day.